Hey, happy first day. We're so glad you're here. Unblur your camera? No, oh, don't do that on my account. No, I have mine unblurred because of my in-laws and it's very neat. My house might not always be quite the same. No, but don't do that on my account. No, I'm not on PTO. No, I'm working this week, just working remotely. Yeah, you for sure do that. Yeah, just give a heads up if you're gonna travel to a far different time zone or looking to work from Costa Rica for 3 months, because I probably need to check with someone on that. But no, I'm just working remotely. But when you're traveling, don't feel like you always need to work as well. No, when you're taking vacation, we can talk about that. But I'm taking my vacation in 2 weeks' time, actually. And when you have vacation, you should absolutely take it. So, but no. But more importantly, happy first day. Everything gets settled okay. Obviously, you have your computer. Good. You got the extra monitors. Oh, good. Well, if you need anything else, just let us know. Let IT know or let me know. We'll get it to you. But yeah, we have the Zoom thing with our team. You've started to hear from team members. They reached out. Great. No, everyone's so happy to have you here. But to be clear, do you know, okay, because we're not just happy to have you here, oh, yay, warm body. Do you know what really stood out about you in the interview process? I feel like the offer letter is enough. No, but I think it's important to know why we felt like you were the right candidate, our number one choice. Yeah. So, I mean, a few things. One is sure, some of the experience you had with certain software, it's super helpful as you onboard. There's other stuff we'll teach you, so we don't expect you to know everything, and we'll talk about that. But I think some of it was, I heard this feedback from a number of others, and I know our recruiting team did as well. But as you talked about everything being really customer focused in the way you related to customers, a couple things. One is how I think you phrased it sometimes rather ask for forgiveness than permission. You were worried that wouldn't resonate. Well, obviously it did, but no, but for us, you have to make decisions. And I think we've all been in different work circumstances where, you're trying to get something done and you feel like you need to check with people and 7 people. So by the time you get a decision, even if it's yes, the ship has sailed. But so here, we want everyone to have some levels of autonomy, within reason, and we can talk specifics, but this idea that if you're doing something for customers, sometimes you're going to make decisions and they may have some, financial aspect to it or things like that. But it is important that we feel like we can make those decisions and we have certain guidelines. But I like the way you talked about that to show that as you had made some decisions, they were really customer focused. And this idea of, as you said, delighting the customers, but really giving them that experience that we'd all want in recognizing what that looked like. Yeah, so that really stood out. And also as you talked about how you've related to certain customers, how in talking with other members of the team, especially newer colleagues, how you'd help some people on board and talked about how it can be really nerve-wracking to talk to customers or clients, especially ones with big titles, but how you talked about how everyone, they're putting their pants or whatever they're wearing on in the morning and, just like us and relating. And a lot of them just want to look, they want to do a good job. And so if we can think about ways that we help them look good to their boss and get their job done, having that focus, I really like the way you articulate that. And a lot of the team did as well. And so we appreciated that. And those things are really important here. So yeah, I just thought sometimes you start and you don't hear what really made you stand out. But yeah, I wanted to, for onboarding, we have a schedule. A lot of it's going to be shadowing, some with me, some with some cross-functional meetings, even stuff no to-dos on your end, but just kind of see how we work. But some with other colleagues. We have a schedule. But do you have any questions before we start, though? I really wanted to make sure as well. On the paperwork, do you need to do your paperwork tonight? No. Okay, so especially your first day of your job or other things, you should not be working at night. In our expectation generally, and I know we said this in the interview process, and it's important to know this is true in real life, our expectation is that your work within the work day, I don't want you feeling ever like you're constantly having to work in the evenings. If you have a day and it's flexible and that's the way you want to do it, then, cool. But oftentimes I think there's this expectation that we feel like you need to do work, go home, have dinner, get things, and crack your laptop open every night. not doing that. The team's not doing that. I've not found that to be a very sustainable practice long term. And so our expectation is that during the workday you get your work done, so that you're not having to do that. Certainly not frequently every night. So a long way of saying your paperwork, no, there's time in the schedule today for you to handle all that paperwork, time with HR to go through any questions there. Plenty of time baked in so that you can get things done and cut out early, because it's really important to us that you are fully able to recharge. Yes. Again, I think we've all either seen or heard about situations where like things are described in an interview process and it's very different in real life. And another thing I've not found to be a very sustainable practice. And so, we talked about some of the parts in an interview that sometimes you'll be working with customers and it's challenging, or they may make a decision and they're not going to renew, and the ways it can feel. So there's tough parts of the job as well. So we'll always be transparent about those, but it's really important that the way we describe the job in the interview process is exactly what you'll see today and every day here. Yeah. But we'll talk a bit, we'll talk more, a couple things that are really important, I think, for you as you onboard, is to understand our organizational goals. And we touched on them a little bit in the interview process, but really now, and we'll talk about those and how your job relates to those. So as an organization, we have a goal of expansion, and there's some financial aspects behind that. So we want to, effectively double our revenue within the next 3 years. And how that's done depends on every other function working together at our organization. So, members of sales, so the sales team that's going out, that's the one that's most obvious, right? That's going to bring on new clients. But there's everything else goes into it. So from the HR department, making sure that employees have what they need, whether it's that's IT, I guess. But so whether it's like the equipment or whether it's, the support they need, but even ensuring that with our policies, when you're taking time off, you're able to recharge. So that when you're at work, you're productive, but you're able to take that time and recharge. So everyone in HR makes sure that employee experience is really matching up with what's needed. In IT, mentioned. So resolving those ticket deadlines and doing it so that people have or internal employees, but also our external customers, making sure things are resolved quickly. So for our team, which is really the account management team, some of that's management, but also every customer we have is going to make decisions. Do we renew? Do we expand? Do we add more? And the experience that we're giving them and the service we're giving them ties in really directly, because in that sales process, people maybe get their hopes up. As we have new client onboarding, those clients, they want to make sure, just like we're talking about, that the interview process and your experience as an employee is important. For clients, it's going to be important that what they were told in that sales process matches up with their actual experience here. And again, not to say hiccups can happen, things can happen, but for our team, it's to constantly deliver what we can to make sure that experience is one that they want to choose to renew, that when the decision time comes, it's an easy decision. So we're doing everything we can to make that smooth. So there's handoffs and everything like that. Yeah. No, but so your role in particular, so with your accounts, when we have targets for renewals, and so everything that you'll do will go into that. Again, there's some things we can't control. Someone's business takes a hit and they have to make costs, that may not be up to us. But the things that we can control, what we focus on, so we have certain processes. So we'll talk about those. But your role in ensuring that your group of customers feels like they're adequately taken care of with you and your team and the rest of it working together, that can lead to the success. So that can absolutely contribute to how we grow as an organization. Yeah, but when we do that, when we have those revenue goals, we don't just want to do it for the sake of doing that. We want to do it in sustainable ways, so that we have a team behind us that is, that is feeling like they can come to work and they can, do some of that. Maybe ask for forgiveness rather than permission, but get creative in their strategies. So your role is really going to be fundamental in that account management and expansion. So we're super happy to have you here. But we can talk more about things like expectations. We touched on it a little bit in the interview process, but things like time off, like some things we'll cover. Time off, what's expected. how you ask for it, how it works on our team. Again, we want to make sure, my inclination is to grant yes as much as possible, and I can't think of a situation where I've had to say no. But for time off, things like company holidays, what that works. As an organization, when you're having time off or on holidays, we really, our goal is that nobody has to get on their work email. So some of those expectations of how we prepare for time off, I think it's important on day one just to set the pace. Some of the other things we'll talk about again, like the schedule that you'll have, what that looks like from our performance review standpoint, what we do to prepare for performance reviews. Again, even though that's a while off, it's really important that starting on day one, our employees have clarity and that you don't feel like you have to be the one to ask. So if I forget anything, please ask me. But there's certain things like time off, performance, salary reviews, bonus, what that looks like that we can help to set all of our employees up to have the best review possible. We will cover all that, and I can give really specific examples. A breath of fresh air. I mean, look, it's just, I just think, so many times you start and you just have so many questions and you feel awkward asking them. So feel awkward to ask nothing. You can ask me anything. Our HR team will cover as well. Our employees will. But yes, we're so happy to have you here. And I want you to know what's expected of you and what we can do as well. Yeah. All right. We'll get ready for our team meeting here in a minute.